Don't let the devil ride. Oh, no. Don't let the devil ride.
That's right. Don't you let the devil ride, because if you let him, he'll not only ride with you, he'll run right over top of you. Nothing good about the devil. Doesn't represent anything good. He wants to do three things, as I said earlier: to steal, kill, and to destroy. Welcome back to WYDU93.4. I'm Ari Golden. I want to continue along this thought that we're talking about world government. And as I said, it represents, 4Ds represents the world government, the New World Order, empires that have always been since the beginning of time. Death, dearth, deceit, and destruction. You can find those four elements throughout history whenever you talk about world government. And no exception when we talk about the New World Order. Now, we weren't even asked if we wanted the New World Order. We weren't even asked to buy into it. It's been forced down our throats from the very beginning. You might say, well, that was a Republican that first mentioned it. But don't play into that left-right Republican Democrat paradigm. It's all false front. It's the bankers that really rule the world. Satan at the top, but it comes down to the bankers, the super bankers that actually rule the world. The Rothschilds, the J.P. Morgans. They're the ones who run the world. And, of course, they have various false fronts that they hide behind their lies and their deceit. But they're the ones that actually run the world. And their religion, they believe that they're the illuminated ones. They call themselves the Illuminati. And we could see the symbols, just like gangs here on the streets that tag everywhere. Well, they tag us they tag our money, and they tag us through advertising. We'll be talking about that in future broadcasts. But going back to the New World Order, world government, we weren't asked to buy into it. It was forced down our throats. President H.W. Bush told us, he said, "For we have in this past year made great progress in ending the long era of conflict and Cold War. We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders." Now, nowhere in here were we asked if we wanted it, and we were just told that this is what's going to be. It's using mind control. And you have the law of the jungle, you have the New World Order. Of course, the New World Order sounds better. Nobody wants the law of the jungle, but they consider anything that's not New World Order, anything that's not world government, to be the law of the jungle. And look at the hubris, even as they force it down our throats. He says that if we're successful, and we will be. See, this isn't a conspiracy that has been concocted over the last few years. This conspiracy has been in the making even since the fall of man, and certainly through time to the present. Now, we're often told that those of us that question the establishment, that question what we're being told, we're told that we're conspiracy theorists. Well, we're actually borrowing the word conspiracy from presidents and from those that have warned us about conspiracies in the past, such as President JFK. He told us, and I quote, "For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies on covert means for expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of evasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. One more. President Eisenhower, he told us, in the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. So, these words are coming right from presidents' mouths themselves. All right? Quickly. When we talk about world government, we're talking about centralization. Even Jesus, even God was against, it appears to be, he's always been against centralization. Look at the children of Israel. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When the 12 tribes were formed, all the power, this future plan for the plan of God to go through Abraham's loins wasn't just put in one tribe. It was put in 12 tribes. Look at the transfer that man made, that man told God that he wanted to transfer rulership from God to man. Man wanted to go from a theocracy or God rule to a monarchy or man rule, and we've been on the downward path ever since. Look at the Apostle Paul when he was with Barnabas, and they had a dispute. I believe it was God that sent a dispute. Well, they went separate ways, even though they were traveling the world spreading the gospel. Barnabas took with him Mark, and Paul took with him Silas. No problem. The word of God was multiplied even more that way. Look at the early church in the book of Acts. They had revival. They settled down into a communistic type of a living situation where they sold all their goods, their property. They brought the deeds of their home, their money, the profits to the apostles. And they all had everything common, and they shared everything. But that's not what God wanted. He didn't want them to settle there. He sent trials and testings in the form of persecution to scatter them. That way, the gospel, the good news, was able to spread. All right? So, even God is against centralization. Don't buy into the centralization of power. All right, we have more for you. We want to go ahead and take a commercial break at this time. Oh, man.
Do you know why I pulled you over?
No, officer, I don't.
My Homeland Security RFID scanner shows that you have outstanding fines due to Region 3. I need to see your driver's license, insurance card, registration, and Global Citizen ID card. Or better yet, I'll just scan your forehead or your right hand to get it off your RFID chip.
Sorry, officer, but all my data has been fully uploaded as best I know. Please give me a chance to straighten it out.
In today's tightly controlled global corporatist world, not ensuring your government-issued personal data is properly maintained can cost you your government-granted freedom. Don't let your improperly maintained digital data hinder you at checkpoints, crossing FEMA regions, police and TSA random interrogations and detainment, along with any other scenario where your data needs to be precise. Global ID Maintenance Service, protecting your interests while protecting the state's interests at the same time.
Have you ever offended anyone? Do you do it often? Do you feel like there's no end to your offending? The offenses are too legion to name. Race, approved state religions, creed, nationality, sex, sexual orientation, government, and the list goes on and on. Whether by commission or omission, avoiding offending others is not only your neighborly duty, it's the law, with huge fines and even imprisonment. There's only one way to avoid it. Program your subconscious. Scrub and rewrite your memory. Here at Custom PC Conditioning for You, we can help you attain the highest levels of political correctness. Get Custom PC Conditioning for You today.
Soylent Green wafers deliver nutritious, high-protein food during the height of any crisis. The USDA certifies our ingredients as well as our processing plants. While the true origin of our ingredients remains secret, it is completely safe. Get Soylent Green. Why get your food from nature when you can get it from us? Not responsible for actual results, best taken without discernment. USDA officials are heavily lobbied by Soylent Green Corporation. Soylent Green Corporation has procured complete legal and diplomatic immunity protection. Soylent Green wafers are fit for general population consumption only, not the elite class.
In today's digitally saturated world of information, the Markspark excels in providing the most accurate digital information implantation services for all your digital control technology needs. Without a RFID implant, you have no access to your SDR monetary sources, medical records, government services, travel privileges, and every other government service you need and depend on. Try our government-approved service and get connected today. The Markspark, your one-stop shop for all things centralized, commissarized, and collectivized digital.